Hello everyone. Alright, so here's my third build for the Curse group build. The T-3476 model 1942 with cast turret by Dragon. This is my first Dragon kit ever built. Never built one of those before. Also the first one with photo etch. So let's see how that goes with these fat fingers. Excuse my voice, as I think I might coming down with a summer cold or just a sore throat here. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the box. So there's your box art, nice little painting, drawing there, illustration. On the side you have some of the CAD renderings of the kit parts. And on the other side you got the four schemes that come with the kit, as well as a picture of the photo etch and the decals and the metal toe tanks and their DS track links. And also here you got some itty teeny tiny weeny minuscule type that I don't know who they expect to read this. I mean, you really would kind of need a microscope to read that type, but well. All right, let's open it up. I already did my first intro of the sprues, so but let's open up the box. Put that aside. So just a quick again. You got nicely packaged. You have your wheels, you have your tracks, you have your photo etch here. Nice little separate package. And within that package, individually wrapped, you have your main turret, the bottom half, all nicely individually wrapped. Obviously, I opened this up for the photos that I showed you before. You have another sprue, again individually wrapped for the turret. You have another sprue, again individually wrapped with the main body and other parts. And lastly, you have another sprue with alternate parts, looks like for the turret. Other options depending on which one you're going to build. And you have your instruction sheets. As you see here, you got your sprue map, and there's quite a number of pieces which are not used in this particular kit, indicated by blue. You have your instructions in 6 simple, relatively simple steps here. So it should be a pretty fun, relatively quick build. Might take me a bit longer since I'm not used to building tanks and definitely not used to working with photo etch. And then lastly, you have your painting guides for 4 different units here. So there you go. So that's what's in the box. So I'm going to start the construction, and that'll be next right after this. Thank you. Alright, I'll just take a quick break here, give you a little quick look. So lower hull, I attached the bottom plate, no problem attaching those 2 little small parts you see are the hooks. I haven't put on the wheels, so I'll put that on later towards the end after the painting. So I'm going to paint the little black, the rubber by itself. The front and the back here, let me just quick show you the back first. It's very interesting the way this kit is assembled. The exhaust pipes here are actually individual exhaust pipes. That's a pipe that goes about that long that goes in here. So I found that kind of interesting, all that detail, even though you're never going to see it. Now in the front here, what I did, I glue on the plate first. Then I glue on the little bits and bobs, because if I glue on all these little small bits and bobs and try to glue this on, I'm more likely to break all the handles, all the small pieces. I didn't do that. Secondly, the instructions here call for adding photo etch brackets here. I did try, and I don't know, well, you can see it. You can almost see the ones underneath the front gun there. But these pieces are incredibly small. If you see them there at the tip of my X-Acto knife blade, how small that bracket is. And they expect you to, fold that in a 90-degree angle at a certain spot, and then attach it to it. After trying those 2, I mean, I think I'm just gonna leave those off, unfortunately. But the rest of the photo etch for the grills, I mean, those nice, good pieces, so that'll be fine. All right, let me proceed with the build. I'll be back. Hello. All right, so I'm back here. So I finished the major construction. The whole thing didn't take long, just a couple hours, a few hours. So I got the top hole, bottom hole. I haven't put on the wheels, just still have that. So I'm gonna put these on those cocktail sticks, toothpicks, and paint them separately. Same thing with the tracks, paint those separately. I'll paint the hull, the bottom separately. As far as the photo etch part, the only part I used really was the grill here in the back. I mean, using that, kind of gives more of a three-dimensionality to it. The other photo etch for the grills up here, I mean, really, to me, I don't think it really would have added that much to it. Just more hassle to me to add them on there, since you already have these solid grills there. But here, this gives you more of a three-dimensionality to it, so added that in there. You got your turret here. Makes a little close up here. See all the detail. Managed not to break off or lose any of the handles this time. Here you have the little focus there, little periscope there, top. And if you look inside, they even include a piece for the periscope, so you can see that. See how well it focuses. There you go. See that? That's a little periscope there. You'll never see this inside, but they include that piece for it. Same thing with the gun. You have the pieces for the inside of the gun here for the breech. Let me see that. And take a look at the details there. That's included for the gun. It's pretty cool, although you really wouldn't see it. Even with the hatches open on top, you probably wouldn't see it unless you're showing a flashlight into there and look directly in there. But it's a nice little detail to have. And you got the muzzle of the actual gun. You can see it's using that slide mode technology, so it's already open. You don't have to drill it out. So there you go. So there are the major pieces. I'm going to go now and wash, clean them up, prime, and then paint them. Start with probably the base coat. Probably paint them black primer, do the base coat of green, and see about maybe do a camo pattern or not, but maybe I'll leave it solid, the Russian green, contrast against the camo pattern of the Panther. Alright, so, alright, I'll be back after those steps. Thank you. Hello, okay, I am here back. Alright, so I primed it and painted it. Primer, just black primer all around. Paint's a bit of Vallejo olivey green with a little bit of other colors mixed in to just make it a little bit more tanky color, for lack of a better term. From my understanding and reading research, I mean, the Soviet tanks kind of varied in color anyway, different shades of green depending on the factory, the time, the weathering, and field painting, and so forth. So if it's not the exact shade, that's not a problem. Plus, you're going to be adding weathering to this, and that's going to cover up the color as well. Anyway, so what I did when I primed and painted this, I put everything together except for the wheels. And the way I held the top and bottom together, I'm going to show you. I use a little bit of white tack, blue tack, kind of a sticky, steady putty kind of thing. So I just roll it out and made to the top and bottom, and then paint it as one unit. And then when I'm ready to glue it together, I'll remove the blue tack and glue the clean plastic to plastic, so you have a nice, good, strong seam. I put on the wheels just to show you. I know you can tell that in the camera. Right now I painted and applied a coat of clear, and I'm going to let that dry probably overnight, and then I'll come back and do the final construction and painting, any little painting of the details and weathering and details and so forth. Just wanted to let it cure properly so I don't mess it up as I handle it with the final steps. But anyway, so I put the wheels on just to show you how they look. The way I painted the wheels, they're all painted black, and then using this little ruler here with circles, I just use that as a mask and paint it over the wheels, each individual. Nice good quick spurt with the airbrush, and then I just clean this off immediately afterwards, so you don't get any paint buildup or paint contamination next time I use that. And that's it. So in a few seconds I'll be back with the update, which might be my final update for this. We'll see how much work I get done. All right, thank you. Oh, and before I glue this in, just want to show you the inside of the turret there with the gun in place. So I won't be able to see that detail once it's built, but it's there. Alright, thank you. Hello, so here's my finished model. Everything's been painted, dry brush, a little weathering, dirtying it up a little bit. I'll give it the final weathering of soil, dirt, whatever, in my final presentation when I have all the models completed. So I'll show you a little bit close-ups of this at the end of the video. And also here, just to give it a little size comparison to the Panther. Here you are. Actually, I'm going to put them down. Probably easier to see that way. You can see, even though these are two 72nd scale tanks, there is quite the size difference there between the Panther and the T-34. I mean, I know you read all the specs and you can read all the dimensions and the weight and so forth online, but you know, seeing this physically in hand, the size difference, I mean, it's quite the much more. Really brings it to like the differences of the two tanks, from guns, overall length and size and so forth. So there you go. So I'll show you some close-up video of the T-34, and then I'm moving on to my next build, which will be the Academy Stuka Tank Buster. And then I'll go back and revisit the IL-2 after the Stuka. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.